Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the Wednesday, August 28th Major League Baseball betting card. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all cashed some tickets last night, and we are going to recap yesterday's plays and get into tonight's contest. We're going to have four best bets, and as always, guys, we will have a little bit of a surprise over on the Discord a little bit later on. And it's actually going to be earlier than later because that may be kind of tipping my hand to which game that'll be. So I wanted to throw that out there for you guys. But coming on strong now, 10-3 and 1 with the Discord play of the day. And yesterday we bagged a run line with a plus 140 value. So a little bit of luck on our side. Scratched across a wild pitch late in the game in the top frame of the ninth. Within that Padres game, but we still were able to cash a ticket. Did also give out the money line and the team total. So, always keep in just mind the perspective, not necessarily the exact bet. If you guys, obviously feel strongly going against something more risky, like taking a plus 140, where maybe you have the odds, but the likelihood goes down, and the expected value and chances of winning also is affected as well. So that's where we're going to get into. I will tell you guys, this will be a little bit of a quicker video. I'm not going to get into each of the games in their entirety, just kind of tell you kind of what I'm getting into and why I'm betting or not betting that game. And so let's get down into it. All right, we're very close. This video will push us over 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. One of my goals before the start of the football season was to get there. So thank you. Can't do it without you. Appreciate all my channel members. And if you're new to the channel or you just became a channel member, that is where you need to check out your check out your logo here on YouTube. A little bit of surprise for you guys there. So hope you enjoy that when we start doing live streams, so on and so forth. It's going to be something real fun that we're going to have a little bit more perks, and for you guys that are more into streaming than I am, you'll definitely appreciate that. But also, little bit of announcement. We will have the football breakdowns. They will be coming out tonight, so stay tuned for that. I'll show you guys over on Twitter and Discord. I'll put out a kind of a reminder. Turn on that notification bell here on YouTube. That way when I do post something, if I'm live or whatever, you guys get that notification, so we are good to go. All right, but let's get into the recap. This is where we were at yesterday. We went 1-3 with the best bets. Dodgers team total ended up letting us down. Logan Webb got shelled, and the Cubs scratched 2 runs in the bottom half of the first to blow up that nrfi, okay? But we did hit the Discord play, so we went 2-3, and then when you make a plus 140 move there late in the evening, that's enough to kind of even the score a little bit. So that's kind of where we're at. We were running a little bit hot, so a pullback was kind of in the works. You could definitely see that in the cards, but nonetheless, I'll take 2 and 3 every day on a weird day. I mean, unders were plenty. Some weird stuff was happening. So that's kind of how I looked at yesterday's card. I actually turned off some games because it was just completely out of left field, pun intended. All right, but let's get into the plays we're going to be talking about today. And we are going to be using Outlier for this video. So if you haven't checked out Outlier, make sure you do. I will have a link down below in the description where you get a 7-day free trial. Essentially, no sales pitch required. It's a small monthly fee. If you're not using Outlier or any of the platforms that I basically am partnered with, and I'm very selective with that because I think if there's a lot of them out there that are BS, but these two that I do push from time to time, I do so because you should be using them to bet, plain and simple. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't make a bet without opening these apps, and they have greatly increased my time, because if you guys have followed me and know me, you do know time is a scarcity and it is very valuable to me. So that's where we are at with our channel sponsor of the day. So if you want to sign up with Outlier, links down below in the description. Okay, and this will be nice because it'll feature kind of what they're all about, and you'll get to see a little inside look into their platform, but there's way more than what I'm going to show you today, so make sure you check them out, okay? Cubs and Pirates, the first game on the card. Paul Skeens Day. Everybody grab a cold one and get ready for what's about to happen, because my man is on fire. You look at Paul Skeens, 8-2 on the season, 2.16 ERA. I think next year that will be a surefire futures play on the Cy Young. Unfortunately, it's something where he's not going to have the ability to qualify this year. So yeah, crazy story out of that rookie. Great life too. Tip my cap to him. Getting it done on and off the field, and also, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, back into it. I digress. But Kyle Hendricks coming to town, playing Pittsburgh. This is a Pirates bet or nothing for me. Also, for you guys out there, bet against the Pirates scoring in the bottom half of the first. Take the nrfi again. It's very profitable. We'll see what happens. Okay, but the one thing that worries me about this, and we will look into this number right here. Okay, we're going to bring up the public Joes versus Pros splits. Okay, you can see right now we are seeing the money is on Chicago. That's a way lopsided indicator. I know it's early in the day, but 55% of the money is on Chicago and 83% of the bets on Pittsburgh. Okay, so that's kind of going to be where I'm at with the net. That's why I'm staying away. But for me, it would be more so in the no-run first inning category. And I'm more of a fade Skeens guy. I know it hasn't really... we pick our shots, and quite frankly, this isn't just one of them, and I'm not about to bet against Skeens with the only kind of... only reason and rationale is just fading the public, okay? That's basically where I'm at. Okay, Kansas City and Cleveland. Wow. Where are my Guardians at? Now we have a divisional race, 75 and 58. We now have Tanner Beebe and Michael Wacha going toe-to-toe to take the lead tonight, Wednesday. And we're at the end of August. It's actually going to be today. It's a 1:10 first pitch, so the winner of this game will take control of the AL Central. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. So going to be a little bit of a barn burner, going to be a closeout. We're going to have to get a couple cold pops to watch these Guardians games in their entirety now from now on, not just watch them breeze through with some clutch hitting and timely pitching towards the end of the ball games. Okay, so anyways, that's kind of how I'm viewing this one. But guys, is something where it's a little bit. I was letting my dogs out this morning. It's a little bit windy out there, and it's just going to get worse off the lake. I do see a breeze coming in. We were on the under last night. We're going to be on the under today. It's too high. Under 8 at basically even money. That will be our first official bet. Minus 106. Locking in within Kansas City and Cleveland. Taking the under 8 at a price of minus 106. Okay. And then let's get into the next game, Houston and Philadelphia. This has been a fun little series. And we get a nice matchup tonight. We get Spencer Arrighetti and Tawan Walker. Not enough for me to bet this game. It's something where the Astros have been riding high, riding heavy with the over, and then yesterday we fell flat on our face, failing to score runs, getting blanked, I believe, or essentially close to it from the Phillies. And the Phillies at home are a different animal. So this is some extreme value here, minus 108 on the Phillies. But once again, you got to understand something. This has the potential to be a shootout. So anything's possible. I kind of like the Astros off a loss. So if the Astros, it's kind of this weird home road dynamic for the Phillies that really turns me off sometimes. So that's kind of where I would normally be betting the Astros. This would be kind of like a surefire zigzag play with them on the road. But Phillies at home kind of makes me a little bit leery. So I'm staying away from this game, okay? And then the next one on the card, Tampa Bay and Seattle. Another one where yesterday ended up taking that under late. And when you guys see those unders, and they're kind of weird. Like I think that one was closing at 6 in some places. It's just a play off the numbers, right? They're not going to set that total there and give you that huge window to crawl through to bet the over, okay? That's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. And what I mean by that is they're very, very keen to, okay, if we set this total at 6.5, well, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have a ton of inflow on the over. A lot of times I end up taking that under because it's just a smarter thing to do. They're not going to sit at that low if it doesn't mean anything. So that's kind of how I view it. Seattle at home on the under has been a very great system for me this season. And now we get Luis Castillo and Drew Rasmussen. So, if Castillo doesn't give up the long ball, I'd probably be more inclined to be on this train. But for the sake of argument, I lean towards the under. But I'm not going to be playing this matchup tonight, okay? Angels and Tigers, that's our next game on the card. Griffin Canning, Mason Englert. This is one where I want to stay away from this whole series, right? Like a prime example was yesterday. Was all over the Tigers, kind of in another form or fashion. I didn't give it out as a play, but that was something where I did like the Tigers. And then now all of a sudden, they were down. I think it was like 2-2, but it's just weird. I think they had some rain, some postponement. It's a weird spot. The Tigers ended up winning yesterday. I think that the Angels are in white, throwing up the white towel. I think they're kind of cashing out for the season. And now you get Griffin Cannon 4-11 on the season, just to complete, I guess, the narrative that I'm getting at. But my bet in this one would be Tigers. You could look even in the -1.5 at a +165 price. I just don't know, quite frankly, enough about this Mason Englert. The total is set at 9. That's something that I would lean to as well. But I'm going to stay away from this game, okay? And then let's get into the next official bet. A lot of value here. We're going to take the 5-3 Osvaldo Bido going against Fernando Cruz. Oakland Athletics on the road. Little interleague, little showdown, and something where I do like to take some of these West Coast teams that come east when they're playing a American League or vice versa. I think it works out in our favor more times than not, and that's where we're going to be at within this. I think that the A's, scrappy little bunch, they're going to hit the baseball, and we get a nice favorite at a discount -110 because they're on the road. So locking that in as an official play, okay? Yankees Nationals, that will be another game where we're going to stay away. You saw yesterday what could happen. The Yankees absolutely shit the bed, for a lack of better words. And right now, here we go. Here's New York Yankees on the back to it. You're going to see tons of money. You're going to see tons of money on the over, tons of money on the Yankees. Probably the most lopsided, in my opinion, one of the most lopsided betting affairs of the evening. This is something where if you truly believe in the Yankees and you think that the zigzag's live, don't make a habit out of it, but just lay the 184 to win a unit. That's kind of where I'm at. If you think the Yankees get it done against the Nationals, take the guesswork out of it. It's not healthy to do that all the time, but eventually you do cash on a pretty good clip just betting against the zigzags when you essentially have they had no reason losing yesterday, and now you get Carlos Rodon going against Mackenzie Gore. I see some runs in this one as well. Okay, so the 8.5 is kind of low. You could take an over 8.5 at -125. Best number available is at Caesars. That is a crazy, I think, opportunity in my opinion. So that's kind of where I'm at within the Yankees and Washington game. And for all you guys that do like to do a little same game parlay, you got Boost out there. This is a very strong candidate. If you want to kind of keep it simple, dumb, and stupid, just do the Yankees money line coupled with the over 8 by that half point. It should give you some nice value too, where you end up getting into that plus territory. Okay, so that would be kind of a little sidecar for you guys, not a best bet, but just something if I was going to attack this game, that's a profitable way to do that, in my opinion. I think the over and the Yankees both correlate. Okay, and then the Blue Jays and Red Sox, that's the next game on the card. We are going to be talking about that because that is the official play that we will be, one of the last official plays that we're going to give out. That's number 3. We will be taking the under in this game as well. Fenway, short porch and left. And I will tell you guys, it's kind of fun. I played in a stadium that had, it was basically a replica of Fenway Park. And, it's kind of fun taking batting practice. I don't know if you ever had an opportunity to get on the field at Fenway, but that wall is definitely a spectacle. And it's kind of a interesting little, I guess, it screws with your head a little bit. You just, because you want to keep your normal swing, but forget it's there. You got to play the wall. I mean, it's a really crazy dynamic. And if you haven't, if you have a chance to go on a tour at Fenway or somehow get on the field or pay to do so or whatever you got to do, I do suggest you do that. It's one of the most unique ballparks, I think, out there. And then you got that little, oblong kind of right corner, I guess you would call it, in right field. But anyways, what I'm getting at is it's going to be windy a little bit in Boston. That wind is coming right off the wall. It's going to be pushing the ball in. And it's something where, possibly we got a little humidity going, but it's still going to be, I think it's going to be one of them days where we don't get the ball flying. I know it's something where you got long balls here. Chris Bassett, Brian Bayo. I know the numbers, trust me. But when we look at this, 9.5 is too much. I think you can even wait for a half point, possibly buy one at -130 and take that 10 if you want some insurance. But we're going under within Boston and the Toronto Blue Jays. Just a play off the wind, play off the wall, and let's hope for some low scoring out there in Fenway. Okay, and then Braves and the Twins, that's going to be one of the next games we talk about. The Braves, they kind of shocked me a little bit yesterday, I got to be honest with you. That's why we stayed away, because everything would have told you to bet the Minnesota Twins, and we had some runs. We had extra innings, 8-6, but they kind of led early on, which was surprising to me. This is something where the total is at 7.5. That's kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. Jumps off the page at me. You get 14 runs, and then we're going to drop it down for Chris Sale and David Festa. From a money line perspective, minus 142 on the Braves. That is juicy as it comes. Very tempting. And if you want to get into some of the details, check it out. This is another reason why I like Outlier. You could see kind of some of the, I guess you would call it, the ways that the percentages, you could track the last 10, and it's really something from a statistical perspective. It really gives you, I think, an advantage. You don't have to go searching and Googling and writing stuff down. It kind of just puts it all there, right there, front and center, hits, props, game props, so on and so forth. It's really organized and saves you a crap ton of time. But like I was telling you guys, in this game, I think there's some value. It's just a little fishy for me, minus 142. Taking the Braves on the road. If you do want to bet this, I would suggest betting this very early. And then we're going to get into the Padres-St. Louis Cardinals game. This is a game where we're going to kind of highlight for a later date. All right, so if you guys know what I'm talking about, make sure you stop on over to the Discord a little bit later on in this evening. But the positive EV right now by Outlier showing right now for the San Diego Padres, minus 124. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the Discord. All right. And then a couple games left to talk about on the West Coast, San Francisco and Milwaukee. Okay, that will be one where Kyle Harrison and Freddie Peralta going at it. Freddie Peralta, if I was going to bet this game, it would be in terms of a strikeout perspective. The Giants are a scrappy bunch, but I do look for Peralta to kind of have the edge in this game. Taking his over in strikeouts, that would be where I would go at. Maybe not in itself, but kind of where I lean in that matchup. Okay. And then we can hit up Miami and the likes of the Colorado Rockies. And the reason why I want to talk about this game is because this is one that we talked about yesterday, under 11, and we absolutely went sailing. So didn't take the under 11, but this is one where you get 10.5 now. It's going to be about that anytime you play out at Coors Field. And that's kind of where I'm at within this matchup. You could take, once again, the over. That's kind of where I would lean towards within this matchup. You get Max Mayer, that's the only thing holding us back, and Kyle Freeland. A little better of a pitching matchup, but still not where we want it to have an edge on one side or another. So I'm going to stay away from this one. Okay, Mets D-backs. If you're going to bet it, the Diamondbacks got absolutely smoked last night. They got skunked by the Mets. Didn't see that coming. Late in the day, pitching change where Brandon Pfaadt was taking the bump in terms of Eduardo Rodriguez. So we're going to have a nice little pitching matchup here, 9:40 first pitch. And, it's a prideful game. I think that you could bet the over in this one. The Mets, their bats stay hot. You could play that narrative. And also I think the Diamondbacks got a little gut check, and they got the crap kicked out of them at home. So I look for them to bounce back. So kind of where I'm at within that. I would lean Diamondbacks in the over, but no official play. All right, and then the last game to talk about is going to be the Dodgers and the Orioles, okay? And you're going to have to forgive me because for some reason it's not letting me go down any farther on my board, so I will kind of go like this just to show you guys. This will probably help you out. And it doesn't. So we'll do it this way. We'll just pull up the match details, and you can see kind of what's going on. From a line perspective, we have a minus 105 favorite minus 110 favorite in the Dodgers, and that's where we're going to. It's plain and simple. I think this is a weird number, so I'm going to have to back the Dodgers in this. Corbin Burns, I think you could see he's a slight, you could make the case he's a slight favorite on the road. Hasn't been pitching great as of lately, and Walker Buehler has flat out stunk. I don't understand why Baltimore is not favored. So we put that in perspective. It's kind of why I'm going to do this. I'm taking the Dodgers off a loss at home, bounce back game. I also would advocate for team total. whenever they go under that, they seem to go over it the next day. So that's kind of how I view it. But we are going to be taking the Dodgers within the money line in this matchup between the Baltimore Orioles and Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, so that's what I got. Here's a recap of the 4 best bets. Hop on over to the Discord. We will have an evening best bet over there. Let's keep this streak running. 10-3-1 and arguably 11-3. But like I tell you guys, I did give out that 7, so it's going to keep me going, keep me motivated. Wash that 1 off the board. But a push is a push, not a bad thing. But that's kind of where we're at. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your picks, and we'll see you guys all over on the Discord later, as well as make sure you have that notification bell turned on, because the college football, NFL content dropping very, very soon. Week 1 picks. Get ready. Thanks.